Okay. Technical difficulties. Bill, you there?
I'm here.
Oh, man. Okay, it's working. All right, rounduppers. Sorry. Take two.
Take two.
Wait for everybody to get on. Roundup family, thank you for your patience with us. Bill and I are no doubt. Well, I don't know about Bill. I know nothing about technology, Bill.
I'm pretty.
Shit. Dead, Bill. Ain't working. Golly, this is not happening. Okay, Bill. I guess this is meant for us to happen. You want to try your other office? I'll kick you out. You want to move to the other office? Is that you think something's going on at the other office? You think it might be a different internet connection over there? Because you're done. I can't hear you. Good gracious. Well. I'm gonna send you my cell number, Bill. Let me send you my cell phone number on here on a private chat. They got a private chat. Cam settings, share screen.
Can you hear me?
I hear you now.
No, I can't hear you. It's the weirdest thing. Mm-hmm. I can hear you or not. If I'm same thing on yours. Huh?
Yeah. Let me see something. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna send you my cell phone, Bill. We can talk to it. I'm gonna send you a private chat. There you go. That is very weird, my friend. Like it sounds like a razor or something going on. Like you're literally, when you come on there, it's dead.
No.
This ain't happening. This is crazy. Rounduppers. I guess it's something in the system here. Think it'd be me. Unbelievable.
Nothing.
I hear you.
You could hear me though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious. Can everybody hear us? But we just can't hear each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
You everybody want to get on a cell?
Well, it's going to be
get on a cell phone so you and I can talk and everyone else can hear us?
Well, they could. I mean, we could try that. We can. I sent you my cell number. You want to call me?
All right, hold on. Let me get my little.
That is so nasty. Rounduppers, we're going to push through this time. Good Lord. I can't believe it. Roundup family, greetings. I'm Chris Haskins. My mission and my ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. In doing that, I have the opportunity to bring you the mentors that have trained me over the years. And I met this guy in 2004, 2005. He's a beast. All right, you got it. I sent you my number on the thing already. If you check the private chat, you can pull it up. We'll figure it out. And I got to say, what up to my vets? What up to my vets? So they can both hear us. We can't hear each other. So yeah, I'll hear you on the cell phone. That'll be weird.
Oh, okay.
What? Forgive us for being dinosaurs, rounduppers. It's just part of being a dinosaur when it comes to technology. If you guys can just spare us. Happy Veterans Day, my friends. Happy Veterans. Thank you all my people that serve this country. Thank you. B?
Yeah.
Yep, I hear you good here, bro.
Just a few seconds in the picture, but we can hear each other, right?
This is the most ghetto bootleg trailer park. Welcome to the ghetto bootleg trailer park real estate trading. They can hear you and me, Bill. So,
well, apparently they say there's some echo.
I got to turn my volume down.
All right.
You got your volume down?
On my phone or my mic?
On your.
Let me mute.
On your phone.
My phone. Hold on.
Nikki's saying
yeah, go ahead.
1, 2. Can you guys hear us pretty good? You go ahead and check 1, 2 on your end, Bill.
Check 1, 2. We can hear you all. Okay, good.
You can hear both of us? Okay, cool. Let's do this. Roundupers. So, Bill, you've been practicing law since 1991. We didn't get any of that stuff, brother. And just give us a snapshot of what that looks like.
All right. So, went into private practice myself right away after I got admitted to the bar. Been doing real estate ever since 75% of my practice. And I also do for mostly my real estate client entity setup, asset protection, tax strategies, biz setup, and self-directed IRAs for investing in business and real estate.
I love it. And we were briefly talking earlier when things went haywire about, in my experience, usually when someone is a licensed professional, they don't walk the path of the investment world. Why is that, Bill?
Well, in the attorney realm, they're afraid of getting sued for malpractice. Mm-hmm. So attorneys are known as deal killers. They'd rather kill a deal than see it go through at the possible risk of it going wrong and the client seeing them.
Gotcha. I guess someone says it's still echoing, dragging and echoing. Oh boy, we're gonna push through it, Bill. Unless you think it's echoing on my end. I don't have any volume on here. All my volume is coming through the headphones, so there's no volume going.
Yeah.
I think it's still something, a little glitch. We can push through it. Only thing that we need on the phones is you and me talking to each other, Bill, really.
Well, I turn off my mic, they can hear me.
If you turn off your mic?
Hold on a second. Let me turn off my...
My headphones are plugged in.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, let's see a test. Y'all test. 1, 2, Bill. 1, 2, test.
1, 2, 1, 2.
If for some reason you're going like, you're kind of glitching a little bit.
I'm clicking?
Glitching a little bit, so it's kind of like the bandwidth is going. It's catching.
It's a delay. They're catching between the cell phone and the internet.
No, I'm listening. I can hear you here. Really, all this is going to be for
you can hear me in your headset.
I can hear you through the system, but you can't hear me through the system. So really, the only thing we're using is this for you to hear me.
Okay.
But you're really like remember, you're just glitching. We'll try to push through it. If not, we won't. Shit. Bill, thank you for your time, my friend. Thank you.
My friend. My pleasure.
So today I want to just cover with my real estate roundup family. First of all, what I could do. I have a Barron's real estate guide here, Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I can either do this one and then hear your definition, or how would you want to get started? Because I value your opinion. I mean, you've been doing this forever. Let's do it. So my Barron's book, I'm going to read this. I'm going to read the Barron's book. Well, I had it on the page, but all this. Sorry, y'all. Subject 2. Bill, what the Barron's book is saying, guys, and if you don't have the Barron's book, just go to my website, go to the realestateroundup.com, and you can get one on my site. I'll make like a penny on each one. Subject 2, acquiring property with an existing mortgage, but not becoming personally liable for the debt. Acquiring property with an existing mortgage, but not becoming personally liable for the debt. Bill, give us your take on what a subject to transaction is.
That's right. The explanation of it is. So Chris buys a property, Chris takes out a loan, bank puts a lien on this property, mortgage for loan. deeds the property to me, but I'm not going to ask the bank for permission to do that. I'm not going to assume the note he signed,
Mm-hmm.
but I own the property. The bank still lien on the property. And if I don't pay, the bank has two choices. They can foreclose the property and or go after Chris on a note, the promissory note.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually an accurate explanation. I'm taking it subject to the existing mortgage.
Gotcha.
Not assuming liability for it with the bank.
So, Bill, why would someone want to buy a house subject to? Why do we even care?
You get a house qualifying for the mortgage. If it's a 30-year mortgage and the has been paying on it for 7 years, you've only got 23 years left.
Mm-hmm.
Homeowners who buy a home for themselves as a personal residence will get a better interest rate than you will as an investor. Okay, and again, you're not assuming liability for the notes. It goes bad. The bank can't come after you for the debt. They can come after the seller, or more likely, just foreclose the property.
Then when you say when you say liability, Bill, as me being the buyer, if I'm buying it subject to, what do you mean by that? I'm kind of confused about people that may not understand.
Responsibility for the loan to the bank.
So you're telling me that if the person is going to sell me the property, but all the responsibility stays on the seller?
That's correct.
Oh,
as long as the buyer, or the investors listening, are making the payments, the lender's not really going to care, because why would they care if getting paid?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I don't pay, it's going to affect your credit, because your loan still reports on your credit report. If I pay current, it's on your credit report. If I late, it's late on your credit report.
Mm-hmm.
You got me? Especially if you default already. If you're 3, 4, 5 payments behind, and I come along and say, Chris, don't let it go to foreclosure and ruin your credit. I'll take over the property. You deed it over me, subject mortgage. I'll make up those 5 back payments, and I'll pay it going forward. Now I improved your credit.
Nice. So what type of quality? Tell me this, Bill, because I think that this might sound too good for some of my roundup viewers today. And I want to make sure that, luckily, you lose your law license if you do anything illegal, right? Or unethical is what I love putting you on the hook for this thing.
I'm not going to run my license for a deal.
One deal, right? So, Bill, why in the hell would someone on earth sell me their property and keep the loan in their name? I mean, it sounds ludicrous.
Well, from the seller's standpoint, it's high risk. Because if the buyer doesn't pay, you're LOL. Think about it this way. Husband and wife, married, own a property jointly, both sign a mortgage, both are on title. In the divorce, the husband agrees to give the wife the house. So he quit claims his half. She's the only owner now. He's still liable on the note. So if she doesn't pay, he is screwed. And he has no ownership rights to the property, so there's nothing he can do. Yeah. So just think of it from that standpoint. It happens every day of the week. In divorce, we're just doing it with unrelated parties. The advantage of is to the buyers. You don't have to qualify. You get the property, you get the low interest rate loan. You're not liable for it. From the seller's standpoint, the seller's got to be pretty motivated to do this, because either the seller is behind or about to go behind, or just thinking in his mind, I'm going to walk and let the bank take it. And there are people out there with that attitude.
So they're just
and for a lot of reasons. Yeah.
A lot of reasons under the sun.
A lot of reasons. Could be anywhere from loss of job, loss of wife, loss of husband, loss of family member. Could be there's no equity.
Gotcha. So
they're already behind in payments.
Nice. 1 second, Bill. We still got that thing going on. Thought I was going to be able to unplug my headphones there. So, Bill, before I forget, we've got a rounduppers, before I lose you guys and before this thing goes haywire, Bill, you're giving my roundup families a $50 discount on your subject to training course, right? I don't want to miss this before people clog off for the bad audio. Bill?
Yeah.
Go ahead. So you're going to be giving my roundup family members a $50 discount on your subject to training course.
Discount.
Yeah.
Right. $50 discount by using the code VETS. And all the profits go to my. He's a vet.
Rounduppers. Bill, if you just go to, there's a link below that Bill gave us, and I mean, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep you all because of this bad audio. We'll come on again, but Bill is graciously giving my Roundup family members a $50 discount to his real estate subject to training course. And when you click on that link in the video description, it'll tell you all about it. And Bill's going to go over that later too.
I can see a couple of questions here already here.
Yeah, we'll go over the questions, Bill, at the end. We usually go back and forth.
Okay.
At the end, is that cool?
Go for it.
Yeah, you sound clean now, man. Thank goodness. All right, it's high risk for the seller, but Bill, don't we have a way to make it not as a little less risky for the seller by setting up certain instruments and stuff also?
Well, what we could do is if a seller says, if you pay, I'm out of luck. And that's true because no ownership in the property. They can't step in and throw you out. I mean, they could make the payments, but they take the property back. They don't own it anymore.
Nope.
So you can order the seller lien against the property, which would be a second mortgage.
Right, or second mortgage?
Right, or second mortgage. And what that does is it allows the seller to foreclose you and get property back. But in the meantime, he's got to keep the payments current on the underlying loan. So that it's rare that we end up doing this because most sellers who are motivated, they just go, "Oh, okay, I'll just deed over to you and you make payments." And if you explain it as simply as that, most people get it. If you start explaining wraps and subject to and the meaning of it and all that, it's going to confuse the seller, and a confused mind says no. Obviously, we're going to have some disclosures and about the risks. It's going to still appear in credit report. It's still going to be his primary responsibility. He can get sued by the bank if it goes bad. Yada yada yada.
Gotcha. Well, when you said it's risky for the seller, I don't want my rounduppers to think that we're putting anybody at risk or we have ways to mitigate the risk for our homeowners. That's all.
Right. Well, here's the thing. We're going to assume that everybody who's watching and listening is an honorable person. If that's the case, there is no risk to the seller.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? See, if I were, as an attorney, represent one part or the other, representing you as the buyer now, as the investor, I'm going to tell you it's a great deal. You should disclose the risks to the seller, but it's not inherently risk for the seller or if you do the right thing. And the right thing to do is make the payments. And if you can't make the payments, then you can give them the property back. Deed it back to them.
Gotcha. Nice. So, Bill, where can this be done? Because we've got people all over the country watching now, and I'm hearing a lot of people whining and whimpering that you can't do this in my town.
You can anywhere. There's no law on any that says you cannot do this. Works anywhere. Now, what you're going to get is a little pushback from real estate brokers, title companies. Some even attorneys will tell you this is illegal. And I ask them the same question every time. Show me the law that says this is illegal. Show me the courts. Show me the statute. Show me the ordinance. Show me the law that says this is illegal. Now you have to understand the bank mortgage has a provision that says if you transfer it, we may accelerate the balance.
What's that called?
We may accelerate balance.
Is that
it's called a due on sale. Is what that nickname the people call it. But it's really not due on sale when I explain. Meaning, if Chris transfers his property to me, and I don't get the bank's permission or assume that loan, and take Chris off the loan, then the bank may. This is what it says. May, at its option, call the all sum remaining due and payable, meaning, due on sale. I pay it all off now. It's not due on sale. It's due on sale at the lender's option. It's in a control right that the lender has that you gave them when you signed the document. That is, if you transfer the property, then we have the right, if we choose to do so, call it due.
Gotcha.
So it's not sale; it's due on sale. The option of lender, and the reason that lenders put these clauses in the mortgages was back in 79, 80, 81. Interest rates in the market were 14%, 15%, commercial up to 21%.
Unreal.
And if you had a 5% mortgage, they're going to say, no, you're not going to transfer that without paying us off. We're losing money. But these last 20 years, mortgages have been relatively flat. 5, 4, 3, 4, 3.5, 4.5. It's been in a pretty close range the last 20 years. So if your seller has a 4% mortgage and the market rates are 4, why would the bank care? As long as they're getting paid.
Yeah, I have heard that rumors. People love to start rumors about subject to, as you obviously know, Bill, about the future of interest rates, and banks are going to start looking at loans and stuff. I mean, you've been doing this for almost 30 years, Bill. What's your opinion?
Sit twice, 2 banks out of probably 400 transactions that I represented clients or done myself where a bank said thing. That's pretty good odds. I mean, there are risks. There's a risk. It's a risk to the buyer. I mean, it could happen. You could get a letter that says pay it all off in 30 days. But if you gave the seller a little walking money and made up for back payments, 4 years later, after $300 a month in rent, said the game's over. What have you really lost?
That's right. Wow.
And how do you solve the problem? Tell the bank you got and deed it back to the seller.
So now the property technically will be in the seller's name. Yeah,
it's no longer involved.
Nice.
So it's a risk, but there's a lot of risks in real estate. I mean, there's intending to damage your property. You can get a hot water heater bust and go all over the place, right?
Yeah. You
can get hail damage to a roof. You can get a meth lab. Wow. You could end up with asbestos problems. You could end up with radon. You could end up with a cracked foundation. You have an ex-boyfriend violated a restraining order and kicked him through the front door.
Wow.
And guess who's going to pay for that, right? Not the tenant. So there's lots of things that are about real estate. I just don't think this due on sale possibility is on the list right now. Yeah. Interest rate up to 12%. It could happen. But I think we'd have bigger problems in America if we had 12% interest rates. I wouldn't worry about that now.
Good point has been taken. So that's the round uppers. That's the due on sale. Everybody's just so scared.
Yeah.
Oh, what about the due? Good gracious. It's weird. The people that are doing the deals, Bill, we don't even think about it. I mean, it doesn't cross my mind. But then, like, the newbies, they're coming in, and that's the first thing they want to know.
Well, that's because the lawyer or broker or title company told them that. It's not it's a risk, but I just don't think in this environment, in the last 28 years of practicing law and all these transactions I've done right around the due on sale, it's just happened so few times that I just don't think it's a high risk to worry about compared to the reward. Now, if you want to use it as a short-term strategy, let's say you buy it to Chris's property subject to, and I paid on for a year, and now I own it a year. I can go to a bank and refinance it 80% of or 90% if I'm living in it, 90% of appraisal, right? And then I off Chris's loan. Fine, we're done. What's the risk? It's going to happen in 1 year. 0. I mean, 0.
0.1. Yeah. 0.1.
Yeah. But if you're planning on putting a lot of money into the property and interest rates rise substantially, and you want to keep for all time, then you got to think about what's your out strategy. What's your exit? It does get called. You could refi it. You could
sell it. Just sell it.
Sell it. Got equity, sell it. If it's got or refi it to the lender who could care less.
So what I'm thinking, if it's been, let's just say for you, 25 years, I'm 40 now, 42. At that time, prayerfully, people that taken, if anything happens, Bill, they should have the property paid off before that even happens. Is that's what we're thinking, right?
Probably.
I mean, 20 years, if you can't make an additional payment on your mortgage.
Right. Double up the payments of principal, pay it off in 12 years or something like that.
There you go. So is it wise, Bill, to give the seller some cash when we're buying houses subject to, or do you care?
Well, I'd like that, but if it makes the deal work, and it makes the seller the deal, and it still makes sense, me giving X dollars, even though he has no equity. I mean, it's worth 100, and he owes 110, and I'd still have $1,000 if his rate was 3.25.
Gotcha.
I know that payment's going to be less market rent.
Gotcha. So, is it, in your mind, it's okay. I'm just looking at it from a win-win standpoint. Like, do I care if the seller gets something? I don't want somebody to come back and say, "Well, you gave him nothing." You know, I mean, is that frowned upon in the legal world?
No, in that example, he gave me a property with 100 with 110 worth $1,000 worth of debt. He should pay me to take that over. I've had people do that. Honestly, I've had people pay me to take for their, where they refinanced it recently, and they had a pile of cash. Maybe got second, and got a pile of cash, and then spent it, or maybe has a little left over, and the property value went down where it's up, down. And I said to the seller, "Why don't you give $5,000 and I'll take it over because you're handing me a property upside down." And they've done it.
I've done those too.
Not that often, but it happens.
So, Bill, what is your favorite way for all of my rounduppers that are looking for subject twos, Bill? What's your favorite way to find these type of deals?
It's a little bit of luck of the draw. I mean, you could target market people based on loan value, loan to value. You can buy a list like that, loan to value. Let's say you want to target, it's a good list, VA list, VA mortgages. VA mortgage, you don't put any money down, right?
Yep.
That's move often, unfortunately. They get restationed, or unfortunately, because of the stress. It's an unfortunate fact that there's a high divorce rate. So they got to move, and they got to move quick. And a lot of times they've only been paying on it for a few years. They have no equity, but they may have a really good interest rate.
Gotcha.
So you're doing them a favor. If they get foreclosed, they're in trouble, and they can't get another mortgage for a long time.
Yep. So is this one? Let me ask you, what is your favorite way to buy? Well, this subject to is my favorite way to buy real estate, Bill.
Me too. This exactly my favorite way to buy.
Tell me why that
OPM.
is.
OPM. Other people's mortgages.
Other people's mortgages.
Yeah. I like it because it's not on my credit report. That's a bonus. It's been paid down probably 5 to 7 years worth. So I'm going to pay some principal, down the loan. When you start with a 30, you're starting with all interest. It's also almost always going to be a lower interest rate than you could get. You walked into a bank as an investor to try to borrow money. You're going to pay 1/4 of a point or more higher interest rate than an owner occupant would.
Let's stay here for a minute, Bill. We're saying regarding it being an investment loan. So we're taking over owner, generally speaking, we're taking over owner occupant loans.
Right. Most of the time the seller is going to be someone who was living in the property or when they got the loan.
I never thought about that one, Bill. That's a big plus.
Yeah.
I never thought about.
No, I've done this with landlords too, but most of them are owner occupied or were owner occupied when the loan was originated.
Yeah.
Which means lower interest rate.
I love it.
Right. And by the way, if you own that property, Can you get a second on it? Can you get a line of credit against it? Absolutely. Even though the first mortgage is not yours, you could still get a line of credit against the equity in the property from a bank, from a bank.
Nice. Rounduppers, if you're just joining us, it's Chris Haskins with Bill Bronchick. He is giving us a Veterans Day discount on his Subject 2 training course. All you have to do is go to the link, the video description. The link is in the video description, and use the coupon code VETS. I wrote it right here. I also have it right here for you in the video. Take advantage of this sale for Bill. I mean, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot when I met you years ago, Bill, and I'm just honored to be able to hang out with you, my friend, one more time.
Always my pleasure.
Yes, sir. So we're talking about buying the property. Is there, when people say, Bill, I can't buy a house because my credit's bad, what do you have to say to that investor?
This is your dream technique. You don't need to have credit Subject 2s because you're not asking the bank for permission or to qualify for the loan. It doesn't require a credit report. What is a seller who's behind on payment going to say? Well, let me see your credit report so I know you're making payments. Well, nothing to, no offense, pal, but you're not making your payments. They're not going to be worried about you making those payments.
Well, I know in the money world, like for lenders,
right,
you only get X amount. Well, they only allow certain people to have a debt to income. When your debt to income goes too high, they give you more loans, Bill.
Right.
Tell us about the conventional world versus this world, which I call it the unconventional world. How many loans can we get Subject 2? How many loans do they let us get on Subject 2, Bill?
Well, there is no limit because they are not asking us permission. We're just doing it. In the conventional world, you're going to borrow money as an investor from Fannie or Freddie. You're limited to 4. If you have really extra good credit, you can like 25, 30% down and have higher reserves, you can get up to 10, but last 6 are tough to get.
Mm-hmm.
So most people, it's full.
Most people,
unless
how many? You broke up.
4.
Bill. 4. Okay.
4. Now, if you have a credit union, a local commercial bank, that might bend the rule a little bit, but the Fannie Freddie world, which is more than 50% of the mortgage out there, it's 4 loans.
4 loans. Gotcha. So there is no. My thing is it's unlimited. I mean, let me ask you, Bill. The lenders don't necessarily care about you building a real estate empire.
In terms of buying Subject 2s,
Just in terms of you borrowing money. Shit. I mean, why do they care about how? They want to make sure that they're getting their money back with Subject 2.
Right.
We're trying to go ahead.
The reason a lender would care that took someone's property without paying off the loan, unless, as we discussed, interest rates substantially on the market. Or there's one other exception. There are some low-income loans that are state-sponsored or city-sponsored. In Colorado, we have something called a CHAFA loan, CHAFA. That's the Colorado Housing and Finance Authority.
Gotcha.
And what they lend the 3% down that the person doesn't have for an FHA loan.
So
and many states have similar programs. Our state-sponsored program, low-income people who can't even afford 3% down for an FHA loan.
Gotcha.
So they'll put up the 3 or 3.5% closing costs, so a person could buy with no money down. If you take one of those over and they find out, they will call it due.
Gotcha.
I learned that one the hard way.
Gotcha. And that was the one.
But it was very simple. But I just sold the house, and paid it off. So it was before they could even say boo, before they even start threatening to foreclose.
Nice. Rounduppers, I'm here with Bill. Make sure you get your questions in the chat box over to the left there, and Bill will be answering. Get your questions answered by a Subject 2 attorney. This is exactly why I have him on here, so you can go over this stuff to see. Matter of fact, Bill, tell me about your course. Why I got you here? Tell me, break down a little bit about what your Subject 2 course.
Okay, so this is an online course which is video, audio, workbook, and all the forms and closures. I explain all about the subject to, how it works, the risks, the risks for if you're buying or selling, and the forms that you're going to use, and fill them out. Here's how you fill out the form. Here you do the numbers. Here's how you evaluate. Because not every subject to deal is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because someone will throw you their house, it's a good one. It's got to have a reasonably good interest rate. It's got to have hold some equity, and reasonably good condition, and in a decent neighborhood. There's a lot of factors you look at, and I go through those factors in the course, and you add it up and say, this looks like a reasonable investment.
Gotcha.
And I have all the forms and disclosures and the tax issues and legal issues that you want to deal with. Like, for example, the seller is still going to get a Form 1098 every year for his interest from his bank. What happens with that? Does the seller take the deduction, or do you take the deduction? So I deal with those types of issues, and insurance. How do you change the insurance, and on the property you've changed ownership, and what type of insurance it should be, and so forth. So I go through all those issues.
Nice. Is your opinion changing over time? I got a note I heard about a month ago, Ron LeGrand saying something about taking houses subject to that the insurance company won't honor the policy if you have a claim. Are you hearing anything about this?
Well, if you don't change the insurance on the property, you leave in the seller's name, of course the company's not going to pay.
Gotcha.
So you got to change the insurance to name the new owner.
Gotcha.
And by the way, that's how the bank usually catches it.
Yeah.
If they're gonna catch the transfer, they don't have spies down at the county. They don't pay attention to who's paying the check. There's a change of insurance. Insurable owners, the bank gets a copy of, and that's how they find out if they're looking for it.
So are you telling me that there is no subject to police scraping loans down at the courthouse bill to see who's doing the transactions?
I doubt there is, but I heard one example. Some guy did object to transfer, and the guy got on his shoe phone and called up lender. No, I don't think there's anything on sale. LGLL.
All right. I'm pounding this. I'm being sarcastic with this, Bill, because I just want, and you too, both of us, I think you have a soft heart for people that are kind of nervous with getting into this thing. That's,
Yeah. Yes, I am. I'm just joking around a little. Again, is there a risk of you getting caught? What are the consequences? Not criminal. It's bank can say it off, and if you don't, we'll foreclose it. And if that means you'll lose money, it means you'll lose money. So look at, okay, if I took 100 subject to and 10,000 on each one, and on the last one I lost 10.
Good point.
Are those good odds? Yeah, that's much better than Vegas odds.
You're right.
Vegas odds are like 52, 40, 48 for card players against you.
This is cool. Bill, thank you for sharing this information. I'm just honored. So you got the course roundup family. I want to get to more detail. This audio is terrible. I think we might need to go ahead and get to some Q&A, Bill, if you don't mind.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I think we probably need to get you back on here again. Because what'd you say?
Sure.
Bring you back on, Bill?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Bill, somebody wants to know, Denise, hey, roundupers, put your questions to the chat box there to the left or right. I don't know, wherever you're. And we're going to have Bill, who is a subject to attorney, been doing subject to deals since 1991. Good God Almighty! That doesn't even sound real. Put your state in too, roundupers. Where you're chiming in from, Denise? Where are you doing subject to? What state are you in? Bill?
What am I in? Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado.
But I've done this in Colorado, Texas, Arkansas, Florida, New York, California, Utah.
The next question was, has anybody done one in California? And they just covered that.
Oh, yeah, California, yeah.
I've done them too. I will tell you, for me, let me ask Bill. For me, Cali was the hardest because people just, I think out there, the title company, I don't know. It's always like you can't do that.
I think I find it, well, was it northern or southern?
Northern San Fran.
That's why. Southern Cal uses separate escrow and title companies.
Yes.
So the escrow companies are sharp, and they get it. It's title companies that do their own closings that are a little more about this, especially the big ones, American, Stewart, the big ones.
Yeah.
In Southern Cal, you've got little escrow companies that do the closing, the HUD, and then title company underwrite separately closing.
Well, they were saying that we had to notify the lender and let the lender know. I'm like, who are you?
Nah.
Yeah.
You'll get some of that. I mean, I get some pushback. Admittedly, if you call 10 title companies, probably 7 out of 10 would say that's illegal. We can't do that.
So what if my rounduppers help us, Bill, find somebody? What would you do if you're just starting out or you're an investor? You just found out about subject to, you learned it. How would you go about finding someone, an attorney or title company, to help you, Bill?
Ask other investors. Who are you using for a title company? Is there a title company that does wraps or does subject twos or does stuff that understands the game? Because it all revolves around the office manager. Because I've the First American in one office and had a sharp manager say, yeah, we can do all that, and go on across the street to another First American. They said, absolutely not.
Wow. Holy cow.
Same company.
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of my inner circle members, Bill, are falling into the trap of asking one or two. How many do you think they need to be mentally prepared to talk to, Bill?
As many necessary.
Kind of like, how long did it take for you to learn how to ride a bike, huh?
Right, exactly. As long as it took.
Wow. So all right. So I'm going to ask one last question on this framework here, because a lot of people are I hear them getting discouraged, Bill, talking to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It took me about 10. Yeah, it took me about 10 lawyers to find.
Maybe.
Gotcha. So
all you need is just one.
So basically, are you telling me that they need to be prepared to talk to more than a few?
Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
Talk to other investors in your market. Ask them who they're using.
Gotcha. Hopefully you can find an investor. I know some investors that have been doing this for 20 years still don't know subject to.
Well, let's be someone who understands subject to.
Yeah.
Sometimes you use the word wrap.
Wrap note.
They think they understand the difference, and there is a difference between a subject to and a wrap. It's a subtle one. But when you call up a lender, a title company, and say, do you guys do wraps? If they say yes, probably do a subject to.
Gotcha, people. Okay, you hear that, Roundup family. Ask him if that's
Yeah.
Lisa, hey Lisa, how do you close a subject to on an apartment complex? That's going to be one for Bill. That's a good question.
Same deal. It's a property. It's got a mortgage. You take it subject to. Now, here's the only challenge, though. On commercial loans, depending who the lender is, there might be an issue with them check. For example, some commercial loans require this to provide financials every year to the lender, including a tax return. That tax will show the property was sold, and the lender may say, where'd it go?
Wow. Good one, Bill. That's a good point there.
You understand?
So people that don't understand loans that have to get renewed, kind of dig in that framework.
Yeah, so like a lot of commercial loans require the borrower to provide annual financials to the lender to make sure they're still solvent, right? So if they provide a tax return that shows the property they lent on was sold, which they would report as sold, so at any seller, they're going to say, wait a minute, where's the property?
On a tax return.
And now I'm talking about duplex, fourplex, no problem. Gotcha. Once you get into bigger numbers, depending on who there is, I've seen a few balk, smaller banks balk at it. But you know what? It's a lot easier to assume a commercial loan than it is to assume a residential loan.
Why you say that? Oh, assume, because all right, gotcha.
Assume it, right? So if you go to say, I'm an investor and I'd like to assume loan, they're going to say you're not in it.
Mm-hmm.
You're a landlord. This was meant for an owner-occupant and an owner-occupied loan pool.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas a commercial loan is meant for a loan.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
I got you. More volumes. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you on here. Neither speakers. Go. They are really not happy about this connection. Roundup, we are doing our best. I promise you. We're pushing through this. We don't want to do this either. We don't want to be on here sounding all bad. Unplug my headphones. Jerry. Hey, Jerry. Bill, how long can you keep a subject to without changing the arrangements that the homeowner before you take over the property?
Well, you take the property right away.
You're buying it
The
right
deed,
away.
right away you're taking ownership of property. How long can you keep it that way? As long as the owner agrees. So say to the owner, there's 20 years left on the mortgage. I'm going to do it for 21 more years. If they agree to that, that's fine. Now, sometimes I've had sellers say, I don't want this hanging out there all that this time.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of liability for me hanging out there for 20 more years. So I'll say, okay, well, it'd be okay if I paid it off in 5. And then so I put it in the agreement. I'll pay it off in 5 years. 5 years came along. Call, say, hey, it's been going good. Yeah, you happy? Yeah. So I said I pay it off in 5, but if I gave you another $1,500, can I go another 5?
Wow.
It's cheaper than me getting a new loan, right?
The deal after the deal.
Yeah.
I like that, Bill. That's sharp. Roundup, I just want to remind you that you can get Bill's subject to training course at the link below in the video description, Rounduppers. $50 discount for Veterans Day. Just go to the link description, the link in the video description. Shay, at the same time as did I miss a question? No. The property's deeded to me, so at the same time is the property deeded to me as the buyer? So the buyer still
I think what they're asking here, I think what Shay is asking is if the deed is transferred from the seller to the buyer, can you as the buyer walk away from the home if you don't want it anymore? You can't. That's not really the right thing to do. The right thing to do would be to call back up the seller and say, listen, if for whatever reason I can't pay this anymore, or the market rents went down or the property side down, I'm going to give this property back to you so you can do something with it. Set renegotiate a loan modification with the bank or a short sale or whatever.
Gotcha.
You shouldn't walk away. Don't just walk away.
Always disclose. Kerwin did a lot of subject to deals when the market crashed. People were throwing away houses. That is true.
Yeah. And you know what? I hope you took a lot of them because them turned around now, didn't it?
Bill, I have this mentality. Let me ask you: does the market always recover? You've seen more crashes than me. I've only seen one.
I've seen several. Real estate is local. So it all depends on what the crash is. So a place like Detroit, even though it's starting to come back a little bit and has come back a little bit, they have major structural problems with their economy and people moving out. If we're talking about just ups and downs, like California, it's always going to come back. If it's a property's well located, it's always going to come back.
Before we get to this next question, Bill, I just give us a 40,000-foot view of what's going on in Denver with all this weed craze going on. I mean, it's got to be crazy.
Oh, it's been good for that market, I tell you that much. Because the sun person doesn't understand value. You just ask anything you pay for it. No, I'm just kidding. More people want to live because it's legal. I don't understand that because I say you're from Jersey, you can't get weed on the street corner in Jersey. I mean, it's that hard to weed out of Colorado? No, but the industry has definitely helped the economy.
Wow. I think you're saying that lightly, Bill. I'm like, your values out there have got to be going through the roof. I mean,
yeah. I just got to look at my watch. A little over for another call, but I can answer one more. How about one more question?
Okay, I'm sorry, Bill. Can the home be sold, and so who gets the money if there's equity, Bill, on the subject too?
That's the good news. You do. If you own the property, seller deeds do. It's now yours, and all future appreciation, all loan paid down, any improvement, it's all yours.
Gotcha. Though you'll pay for a question. Let me get this last one, then Bill, I'll let you go.
Okay. I didn't even know you can do that.
Yeah.
I'm a guitar player, though. I'm a guitar player too.
Instead of assuming the risk of the loan being called subject to, would it not be more risk efficient to help them refi and do a traditional owner finance?
Help them refi?
The seller, yeah. I guess you have to be a mortgage broker to do that.
Well, you can get this if there's equity. You can get this on it where I've got the seller refi, get some money out, and then deed it over to me, subject to that. Yes, but in most cases, the seller is in financial trouble, so they get a refi.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, they can't refi. Okay, Bill, thank you so much, my friend.
And the answer, there was one last question about a 1031. The answer is yes.
Oh, 1031. Okay, 1031.
Yes.
All right.
It does qualify for an exchange.
Bill, I'll see if I can get you back on here, my friend.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. Thanks for being patient with the technology.
Yep. Okay. Bye, Bill.
Okay. Bye.
Rounduppers, we did our best. I'm going to take a few questions here before I do Q&A. Please subscribe to my channel, even though I'm really looking bad right now based on the quality that I can bring you. I'm truly sorry for that. But so it's over. I said I was sorry. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. But the reason I wanted to bring Bill on, because obviously, I do coaching and training around the country. Bill coached me during this stuff. So I'm just like, listen, I want to bring the people that help me. What I'm going to do is see if I can get Bill back on to go over this thing again, and I'll do some quick Q&A myself. I'll answer because I live in a house that I bought subject to amongst many other houses that I've done. So yes, who asked that? Can you live in a house subject to? Absolutely. And don't forget, Bill gave us $50 off of his real estate subject to course. I mean, it's not a lot of money anyway, but Bill's course is below. Go to the video link below. He's going to show you step by step how to buy houses. He's got all the docs for you too. If you don't want to get my stuff, you can get attorney prepared docs. I mean, how better can it get? How better can it get off with that? I want to say how gooder. Can it get any better than that? I don't know. Hold tight, Roundup. Let me pull this up. I could do some quick Q&A to see what I can do to help you guys. If you got questions on that. Yep, there it is right there. So you can get Bill's course there if you like. I'm truly sorry about those technical difficulties, but such is life. You can't find subject twos where you're from. The property doesn't care. If I make the payments but don't have much money to give the seller as a fee option, what's legal and feasible option? You got to have some money. Do not get into these deals if you ain't got no money, Allah's MGT. Nikki, and with this, isn't the best to transfer into a land trust? Absolutely. I didn't get into land trust with Bill. I mean, he had to go. I'm going to hopefully get Bill back. Not hopefully. I will get him back on here over the next few weeks. Sorry about that. Oh, man. Thoughts on the impact subject to deals? He talked about that already. Let's see what we got. Roundupper. Subject to my favorite way to buy real estate. Don't do a subject to if you broke, though. If you ain't got no money, because then if you can't rent it out, I don't want the problem of you not being able to rent it out fall on the seller that deeded you the house. I don't want ma and pa, their credit getting all messed up because you can't make the payment. You have the bank. That's right, Curran. The banks don't want the property back. Brian, can you have the seller do a wrap without adding more money to the property to the buyer? Absolutely. Yep. Matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a training on wrap notes later. That Curran, Allah's. Oh, you had somebody that wanted 20,000. I would give him 20,000 if it's a good deal. You couldn't have gotten a bank loan legally with their original loan, not in my name. Absolutely. You just give him 20,000. That's what I'm saying. Don't do it without any money. Hey, Zoshi, how you been doing? Good seeing you. Man, this is a whole bunch of stuff. Alana, how to do subject to deal if you don't have good credit as investor to purchase the property yourself? That's exactly why you do a subject to, because you don't have good credit. That's exactly why we do them, because it's not based on your credit. Tell me not legal with subject to. Allah's MGT. Didn't think I would qualify it, but someone told me equity loan is not legal with subject to. You can do an equity loan with subject to. You absolutely can. And that is what Bill just taught. Arlene, what if a house is in pre-foreclosure? Doesn't matter. But you better be, I was talking earlier, you better have some money to bring those loans current, or you're going to lose your deal. Just answer my question. Okay, good. We should have Allah's MGT. We got to do this training again. Sorry about that. Yes, Kimmy, you can do a subject to and live in it. That's exactly what I do. That is exactly what I do. Thank you. Don't listen to the audio. Guys, I'm out here scrambling trying to bring you value. Yes, I'm not the best technical person, and the audio was all crappy, but I'm still trying to bring you value in your life on this Veterans Day. Optimus Prime talking. Anyone? Steven, I think the subject to course is like $390, and you get $50 off of that. Or is it $497? I'm not quite sure what it was. Hey, audio was bad. Yes, Ram. Sorry. How do you type? Oh, we got to ask Bill. Al, entrepreneur. I'll have to get back to Bill on that, how he buys houses, but I'm sure he's buying them in a land trust. I'm almost sure of that, but I have to verify that with Bill. Ram had a subject to. Yes, good for you doing subject to. People doing subject to. I love it. Any questions? Kerwin, once you do a subject to, is there any way the seller can regain home ownership again? No. Once they deed it back, unless they sue you, maybe. Arlene, will subject twos work with pre-foreclosures and foreclosures? Pre-foreclosures, yes. Foreclosures, no. Don't forget, the definition of a foreclosure is that when the bank takes the property back. You know what? Let me go ahead and I'll just read what Barron says. I love it. Foreclosure. Let's read what thus saith Barron. Foreclosure, a termination of the equity of redemption of a mortgagor or the grantee in the property covered by the mortgagee. All right, so the termination of equity. Basically, you ain't getting nothing. So they're terminating. I like to use taking back. They're taking back ownership. But it just so happens that we go to the courthouse steps to bid on it, right? If no one bids on it, then Roundup family, and the bank will take it back. So foreclosure is the act of them taking it back. But up until the minute of that sale, every time before that, all the time before that, my Rounduppers, the lender can be satisfied, or you can bring it current, or you can pay it off. So pre-foreclosure, yes. Foreclosure, no. And don't think that a foreclosure that you're going to buy on the MLS with a realtor is a real foreclosure. That is a bank REO. So you got to know your terms. Bank or REO is after the bank has foreclosed on it, and now they're listing it. Pre-foreclosure is before the bank closes on it. So you got to know these terms. Oh, man, it burns me up when people say they're going to go with a realtor, and they better not be going with a realtor. Oh, my Lord, where's my knife? You better not be using a realtor. When they go with realtors and they're going out to look at houses, they're saying, I'm going to look at some foreclosures. I'm like, wait, when is the foreclosure date? They're like, well, I don't know. You are not going to look at foreclosures. You're going to look at bank REOs, real estate owns. Okay. So we got we got pre-foreclosure. That's before the sale. Foreclosure, if you're buying foreclosures, you're like me. We're going to the courthouse steps. We're buying right there, cash. We're bringing the certified check to buy. And a bank REO is after the foreclosure has taken place and the bank has listed it on the MLS with a realtor, not a realtor. Oh, Lord, I didn't mean to get on my high horse on that one. I'm sorry. Short sales, what about short sales? Jamon, if you get a package of homes, can you do a subject to on the entire package of homes? Absolutely. Can you do subject to bag of inventions? Can you do subject to on commercial? Absolutely. You can rewind the video and see what Bill talked about that. Russell, if a seller files bankruptcy, can you still take the property subject to? Yes, you can. Yes, but you got to make sure that they do not include that loan in the bankruptcy. Hey, TB, in reference to the home HOA, a homeowner's insurance, Should the policy stay in the original owner's name and then the investor be on the policy as additional insured? You can do that. You can absolutely do that. It depends. For me, I just get a whole new policy. But TB, it's up to you. I would add it on. I wish I wanted Bill. I hope I'll get Bill back on here to give us his opinion because he has been doing it for twice as long as me. But I'm sure if you get his course, don't forget Rounduppers. If you go use the code VETS, use the coupon code VETS to get get $50 off of Bill's subject to real estate investing course. The link is right in the video description. I negotiated that with Bill before we got on. Sorry about that. Christian, what happens if you have a property under contract subject to and the owner dies? Oh, what happens if you have a property subject to and the owner dies? Could the bank call the loan due? I don't know. I doubt it. You just think about it. If you're a bank, Rounduppers, and you've got 1 million loans out there in this stack here that are current, and then you've got 300,000 here that are in default, which stack are you going to look at to sniff around? You don't even care about the loans that are current. So just keep the loan current, in my opinion. Can you subject to an FHA loan? I have. You can do that. Jamon, can you subject to vacant lots? Absolutely. You can subject to anything that has a loan on it, subject to the existing financing. Bill, the property you mentioned, yeah. Robert, I don't know that one. I have to get him back. I have to get Bill back on here. I don't know why he just gave me an hour. He knows your boy goes for an hour and a half. Michael, you've never heard of the loan getting called. Neither have my mentors. My mentors together have been doing this for 40 years. Jamon, yeah, something about the insurance. I'm not quite sure about that yet, Jamon. Thank you, Apple Mac. Yes, praise God. I'm so glad you are appreciating the information. How do you get clients? Kenny, pre-foreclosures, my friend. Craig, what up, dog? Hey, Seattle, can you do a 1031 exchange? Absolutely. To pay back payments. I think Bill said that, yes. Josiah, hey, Josiah, if I take a property subject to and the property has foundation issues, will that affect the insurability when I get a new policy? Good question, man. I do not know because the banks, the insurance company, matter of fact, when I got my policy here at my house, white dude knocks at the door. Boom, boom, boom. Wants to do an inspection, walk around on my property because I have 2 policies on mine. So if the house burns down, I'm going to file the policy on my personal one and not the one that I keep in the seller's name, right? Because I just keep a policy in the seller's name for mortgage liability. Jermaine, hey, a deed of trust is using an instrument to give power to foreclose. That's absolutely right. That's right. There you go. But if they're scared, you got a lot more problems than that. Good gracious. Sorry about the yeah, Jerry, I don't have any control over the technology. Sorry about that. Oh man, you're welcome. And thank you. Wow, that's making me feel better. Everybody beating me up. Thank you. I need some positive feedback too. Your boy's human. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, please. Mac Miz, I don't know about doing subject to virtually. I'm sure you can. I've never done it. Cryptocrack. I'm in a judicial state, which means you have to get court order to foreclose. People know they don't have to make any moves, and it could be. How do you find leads? Pre-foreclosures, Aaron. How do you find leads? Yes, thank you, Apple Mac. Thank you so much. Still got a lot of this. Rounduppers, make sure you go below, get Bill's subject to course. You're getting $50 off. Put the coupon in, VETS in to get Bill's subject to course. Red Cross, value far outweighs the minor audio. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. You guys know I'm working for you anyway. Brian, after getting the substitute deal on the house and the seller wants money, can you give the seller money after a few years passes if he agrees or if you sell it back on the back end? Absolutely. You can do that. Mac Miz, do I have any student interviews coming up? I got so many. You know what? Let me tell you, Mac. Let me tell you this, my friend. For the one person that you see, like Bill, that comes on, and you'll see my interaction with my inner circle members, or even the people that pay me for a consultation, Mac. For every one you see, I've probably gone through 10 people that don't want to be on the internet. All right. So, Mac, I ask every one you see, I've already asked, maybe not 10, let's say 7 or 8. And a lot of people just don't want to be online. They don't want their business out there. So Apple Mac, who is that? Mac Miss? I'll work on that, my friend. I ask a lot of people, but they don't want to be online. Al Entrepreneur, we use something called StreamYard, my friend, and I'm going to be doing an internet masterclass here probably later in the week. This has been the best year from our business regarding the internet. I mean, you should be making money every second of the day. I bought a property and then the seller filed bankruptcy on the property. Ugh, that's nasty. Oh man, Sandshaw, you're finalizing your subject to deal and the seller requested I deed the property back to the lien holder in the event of buyer default. Good one. We have Hanshaw, that's a good question for Bill. I don't know about that one. Levi, when buying a house, putting in a trust, can the beneficiary be an LLC? Absolutely, and it better be. I hope you're doing that. Tyrone, got to be careful in Maryland on subject to because 2005 FIFA law. I don't know about that one. You have to bring me up to speed on that one. Rounduppers, that's all I got for you. Please take a second and subscribe. Oh man, I take this thing off. This thing is heavy. Subscribe to my channel, my Rounduppers. You know I love you. Hit that like button and also hit the bell so you know when I'm going live. You don't miss anything. I got some goodies coming up. You know we got a whole bunch of goodies coming up for you for Black Friday. Hopefully I will have some other investors that will give my Roundup family a great discount on some of their real estate training because I want 2020 to be your best year. Use the coupon code VETS Roundup. Go to the video description below to get Bill's subject to real estate training course for $50 discount. All right. And it's not much. It's a couple $100. Roundup, I love you. I'll talk to you soon. Yeah, peace.